Evan, I was really taken with Chrissy this season. I think that she's very similar to the Dolores that we first met in season 1. What sets these two characters apart?
Christina is, I'd say she's a little nerdier, a little more of a hermit, lives inside of her head with her stories and her dreams. And, I think she's fighting to be taken seriously at her job, is struggling to find meaning in her life. Like Dolores, seems to be rather sweet and romantic and values those sorts of ideas.
Well, Lisa, it feels like we're kind of going back to some of those aspects in the first season, particularly with Christina. It feels so romantic, like you said, like there's this hope almost. Why did it feel important to kind of go back to those aspects?
After seeing Dolores's journey through, and seeing her going from this more innocent person to a fighter and, go through all these permutations, that chapter kind of ended. And I wanted to start anew with a character that now it's not a period piece, really. I mean, I guess there's some futurism, but I think the connection that you feel to Christina it's much more relatable immediately, because it doesn't feel like genre. It feels like, oh, this is a girl with roommates and a job who could be anywhere in this world. As such, we didn't need our commentary anymore to be as metaphorical. We could speak more openly about, some of the ways in which Christina is dismissed in this society, right? You don't have to be in the Wild West to face peril as a woman. She's definitely endangered in different ways. And I think that's the reality of our actual world. And so to see how a human would cope in that situation, in our current situation, I think was really fun to explore, but also to explore the good parts of being human, to have friends and go on dates, which are sometimes terrible, but, dates nonetheless, and to laugh a bit and have jokes and lighten up. And, all of that was just wonderful to get to explore. It's a very new world. And Dolores and Christina are just totally different people, but there is a shared idealism. I think in part because I'm idealistic. And so, when writing a writer in contemporary society, trying to get by, I'm sure that there was part of me that related to that kind of dreaminess and like a bit of vulnerability. I think whenever you're idealistic, you can also really get hurt. It's easier to be cynical in this world. If you're cynical or sarcastic, just like destroying things is easier than making things. I like watching Christina and kind of trying to learn from her and how she navigates the world.
Well, and Evan, did you know that when Dolores sacrificed herself, did you know oh, I'm coming back? Because everybody else, we were like, well, what's next?
I had to know what was happening because I needed to know if I was grieving, and saying goodbye, even just for my real life. I need to know because I'm very attached to the show and these characters. So I was told that yes, Dolores was really dying, but that I would be back and I would look and sound like me, but I would not be Dolores anymore. So I was very intrigued to return and get the first script for season 4 to figure out, well, if I'm not Dolores, then who am I and where am I and what is my role? Which is really one of the fun parts about this season is figuring that out.